What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dogecoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We're going to go over some more immediate price targets. I want to identify this kind of whole range here and what we're doing from a FIB perspective, where we could expect to go, what our next targets are by the end of this move here, right? By the end of this move, what do I mean? I don't mean the end of the cycle. I just mean the end of the move. Like, this was a move, right? This is a move, though I don't think we're at the end of it. I think we have higher to go. So where's this move going to end? And we're not going to go over the all-time high predictions, but if you want just a quick rendition without too much explanation, I'm expecting Dogecoin to go to this line here, basically around $4 by the end of the cycle, right? If you want a more in-depth analysis on that, you can watch, let's see, you could watch, where is it? This video here, Doge, better than the dollar. Just search it on my channel. I can even, I'll copy the link and I'll post it in this video just for you. But anyways, that's for the all-time high predictions. But what I want to do is focus more on the short-term stuff, right? So from an all-time high to a low of the cycle, on a monthly basis, we've done some very bullish things, right? You broke above the 0.5 here, pulled back to your 236, and then ripped all the way up through your 618, up into your 786, 886 zone. You guys, this is very, very bullish, very, very bullish stuff. To add to the bullishness, you pulled back and you found support literally right at your 618. The 618 is the golden ratio. It's the golden ratio to the universe, to the charts, to your favorite video game, to the leaves in the trees, man. It's the golden ratio to life itself, right? And it found support literally on that line. We can zoom in here on the weekly basis, and you literally went right to that line. You broke through it like it was nothing, and you found support on it as if it was something, right? Very significant for structure to the upside, right? And this, just based off the fibs here, this is a very good look. The next target, based off what you're doing here, becomes available once you break above the 886. So it's technically, I suppose, the next target is the 886, which is at $54 or 54 cents. I'm sorry. You're at 31.8 cents now. 54.25 cents is the gatekeeper that prevents you from going to these targets here at $1.54. And essentially what I'm getting at is I think that could be Dogecoin's next target by the end of January, maybe the beginning of February. That could be its next target, right? Dogecoin can't move up that much. That's crazy. Well, last month in November, from a low point to a high point, it moved up this much right here, 237%. From a low point to a high point this month of December, it probably doesn't go all the way up there, but let's just say December closes higher. I would expect December to close green. Let's just say it closes green. If December closes where it opened, then basically all Dogecoin has to do is the same move that it did in November, let alone if December closes higher than it opened, then Dogecoin has even less price to grow than it had in November. You know what I'm saying? So if December can close up above 54 cents, you guys, I just want you to know, I know it sounds crazy right now, or it might sound crazy. If you're holding Doge or your life savings is in Doge, it probably doesn't sound crazy. You're like, that's not where it's going to the moon. I get it, but it'll become more real whenever we break above 54 cents. Now, there is the possibility that we break up, however unlikely, and it is less likely that this happens, but oftentimes you break above the 886, you at least go to the 1272 or higher before seeing some kind of significant retracement. But sometimes you do find resistance a little bit before. Sometimes that does happen. If that were to happen, the place that I would expect you to find resistance at would probably be anywhere from 86 cents to $1.23. So $1.54, I would say, is the kind of height, or at least around there, would be the height of my expectation by the end of January for Dogecoin. And then going from there, or going down, I would say $1.23 to 86 cents. The more probable area, if I really had to guess, would be $1.23 to $1.60, let's just say. But the minimum potential by the end of January would at least be new all-time highs. I just can't see you stopping there. I mean, you could stop there, I suppose. It'd be some kind of like fake out look, double top look. That could happen. And you just pull back and you find support, like basically where you're finding resistance now, and then you move up later. But who knows? Who knows? I am kind of expecting this cycle. I think a lot of people are expecting this cycle for Dogecoin to be like last cycle, and already it's showing you in excruciating detail that it's nothing like last cycle. It's literally very opposite and different, actually. It took me a long time to figure this out myself. Lower lows, lower highs for most of the cycle. Once the cycle began, it just didn't stop, right? It stopped for a little bit here for like a quarter of a year, but that was about it. It basically didn't stop. The cycle before, it was kind of kind of exciting here and there, but really boring for a long time. And then it finally ripped. Then it consolidated and it ripped. It was basically, last cycle was one move, essentially, one fell swoop. The cycle before was two kind of moves. I'm expecting Dogecoin this cycle to be a little bit more like this cycle, right? Have that Harry Potter look there with that lightning bolt, but probably not this cycle. I think it's already obvious that this is not going to happen, because instead of finding lower lows and lower highs, we've been finding higher lows and higher highs. It's a different look. Whenever we started this move, we've had 1, 2, 3, we've already had 2 moves up, where here was just 1 move up. Here, it took us the whole cycle to have 2 moves. Here, you've already had 2 moves. So what I'm getting at is I think Dogecoin will be more methodical than it ever has been. And that makes sense, because Dogecoin as an asset is maturing. It will, when it sees new all-time highs, achieve a market cap of $100 billion or more. That's a very mature asset, right? And it's been around since 2013. For crypto, that's like an old man, right? Or an old lady. I'm not trying to presume its gender, but whatever. But with this maturity comes less of this spontaneousness, less of this just like crazy, just like one move and then you're there-ness, right? It's more meticulous, it's more constructive. So this next move up, I would think at the highest takes you to $1.54. When Dogecoin breaks $1, people are going to be like, it's going to $5, it's going to $4.20. You're going to hear $4.20 being the memo. Once Dogecoin breaks above $5, everybody's going to be saying $4.20. I don't think Doge gets to $4.20 by the end of the cycle. Maybe at the absolute highest, but probably right around $4 is where it goes. Actually, just above $4 is what I think. Or just below $4. But this next move, again, I'm just getting carried away. I think it's very obvious that we're not doing what we did last cycle. That's the whole emphasis of this part. We're not doing it like what we did last cycle, but if I was to compare it to either of these cycles, it would be more comparable to this. But truthfully, I think it's going to be more methodical than either of these cycles. This is a 2-phase cycle. This is a 1-phase cycle. By the end of this market cycle, Doge could have a 3-phase cycle. It could have a 5-phase cycle. I don't know how many ups and downs it's going to have until it sees its all-time high. But one thing's for certain, at least for me, it's for certain. I don't think it stops here, right? I think this is, you had one move up. This is your second move. I wouldn't say this is a pullback and you're about to begin your third move. I think you're still in your second move, and it just seems like you're having a pullback because you're down this month already. You're down 24% right now. You have 9 days, 21 hours left. I would bet a lot of money, guys, that Dogecoin is above this price, potentially even above its all-time highs by the end of December, but at least above this. I would bet it closes the month green. If we look, one last thing before I end the video, you look at where you found support here. You go all the way back. You're kind of finding support at areas where you found support before, kind of where you found resistance before. It doesn't look as good on the weekly. I'll admit I was kind of expecting something else. Maybe this daily look will give us a little bit more. Closing there on the day, right? There you go, kind of more at these resistance and support points, kind of, right? Maybe on a daily basis it's more respected. I don't know. Let's see. Going all the way back. Yeah, right there at that resistance, right? It's pretty clean. It's pretty clean on the daily, actually. So I like where you found support. There's no problems with me in Dogecoin right now, man. I think that was it. Huge bear trap. Absolutely, that's a bear trap. And now it's time to run higher. Next target, 86 cents to $1.54. You're at 31.8 cents now. The question comes to mind, is it a good time to buy Dogecoin? Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell your friends, tell your grandma. Whenever people ask me what coin should I buy in crypto, I always tell them, that's up to you. Do your own research. Absolutely do your own research. But I'm talking about people I know in real life, friends that I've had since I was in kindergarten, friends that I've had, since I was in high school, college, whatever, that I worked with, that I grew up with, right? People who I went to their Thanksgiving dinners with, right? Like people who I went on vacation with. These people in the real world that I know, when they ask me about crypto, I always talk about Dogecoin. I always talk about Dogecoin. I talk about Bitcoin Cash. I bring up Litecoin. And why do I bring them up? Because I see them all having serious potential to the upside still, right? And they're safe, right? Dogecoin especially, I think, is safe. Out of all of those that I just named, actually, I think Dogecoin might be the safest. Also, it probably doesn't perform the best compared to those ones as well. But out of all of them, it's the one that I'm the most confident will go up, right? And this thing from here at $31.7 cents absolutely has greater than a 10x potential left in it for the rest of the cycle. So I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves and go Dogecoin go. That's all I got to say. Bye.